Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, September 19th, and we're going to take a look at the market real quick here. So we had Bitcoin had that nice drop yesterday, which brought us down to 9,653 on Binance, and it brought us down to $9,585 on Coinbase USD versus USDT Tether. So looking at the Binance chart here, we wicked back up and we found support right at 786. Nice key level, 786. And this fib level is actually comprised of the previous, on the 12-hour time frame, the previous swing high and the previous swing low, which encompasses this whole move that we did here when we came down to 886 and we started to move back up. I apologize for all the lines. It's just these are all my support and resistance lines and my entries into Bitcoin. So I tend to keep that as a record for myself. So it's a little messy when you look at it on the higher time frames. But let's see. Let me go back down to the 1 hour time frame. We are now barding up. Very, very common pattern that we see a lot on Bitcoin. But to be honest with you, I'm not too convinced, only because I think a lot of this is liquidating some leverage shorts. As you know, a lot of people right now on Twitter are bragging about being heavy into shorts. So the market makers are not stupid. They're not going to hand over their money. They're going to knock them out of their position and then more than likely continue to move down. That's one scenario. And one of the reasons I do believe in that scenario is if you look at the Tensor chart. Let me pull that up real quick here. Tensor. I want you guys to look at this here. So let's move down here. Look at this intensity down here. We got the $9,500 area back in bright yellow, and then we have 94.40. Also, they added overnight in very bright yellow. So I think what's going on here is just some liquidated leverage shorts to knock those guys out of their positions before bringing it down and doing what it wanted to do in the first place. But when people try to act like they're smarter than the market, they're smarter than the house. The house always likes to remind them who's actually boss. So I think that's what we're seeing here. I could be wrong. We may go back up to the level that we've been stuck in, the lower 10,000s, but that's just my take on it for now. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Looking at the higher time frames and the 12-hour time frames, I just posted the chart here. Looking at how perfectly we stopped at the 9 EMA tells me we're not done. We're underneath the 9 EMA for like 3 days now, 3.5 days, and we can't crack above that. And this is no different. We're still in a bearish tone here on the according to the EMAs. The MACD still looks bearish. It still looks bearish on the 9 EMA. We actually are sitting right on that gap line on the 12-hour. It came to the rescue. We pierced it with the wick. Wicked back up and sat right on top of it. So we did not fill the gap. The gap, I think, will continue to get filled on the way down. Now, if you notice something, remember this long resistance line that we tried to crack and we just couldn't, and we flipped it to support on this entire move here. Look exactly where the candle stopped here, guys. Exactly underneath, directly underneath the resistance line. Again, none of this stuff is coincidence. This isn't a coincidence that we stop right there. So this kind of gives me another reason why I still feel that we're going to continue to come down and fill the area here of the Tensor chart. So this yellow here is the intensified heat that we see on the Tensor charts, and then 94.40 is not that far down, and it's funny that it lines up perfectly with these wicks here, with these candles. I'm going to put this on my chart here. I'm going to add it on right now while I have you guys on here. So let me just put that line there. I'm going to make this line solid, and then I'm going to change the price to match the Tensor charts right there. Look how well. Hold on for 1 second. Let me just zoom in here. because I love when this stuff just lines up so perfectly. Look at this is the line that we just added that reflects the heat on the tensor maps. Look how well. Look at the support that we found on this line here, as well as this line here at 9,500. So I still think that we're going to be bouncing down into here. Now we are getting close and closer to that apex here. The bottom of this apex would be the top of this box. So let me move this box over here. There it is right there. So that's the bottom of this box. And we are now, I think, on our way back down here, which is one of the scenarios that we talked about. If we couldn't crack this, that a possible downward turn into this box again, to the support box, and then a push to the upside to begin their next bull run. Looks like it's playing out so far, the second scenario that we have. So we'll have to see here if we stay within this apex and we're able to break out in the next couple of weeks. This is a 12-hour chart that we're looking at, so it's not going to be something that's going to happen in the next day or in the next day or two. So I think it still has a little bit of time for it to break out. So that's basically what we're looking at. Some of the alts are holding up really well. Here's ADA holding up really well. Here's the NEO holding up good. RVN did a nice move to the upside, back at 341. Satoshi's Link also. Link looks like it wants to break out of this flag on the BTC pair and on the USDT pair. Very similar scenario here, trying to break out of that flag formation. We just had a nice run on Ethereum. Again, this just, when you see Ethereum run, guys, and front run the market, and while BTC is not doing too much, I mean, BTC did have this little move to the upside, which is nice, followed of course by Ethereum. But I like the way that the alts have really been following ETH lately. So I'm hoping that we can continue to see this. However, when BTC does come down, when and if it does come down, I do suspect that it's going to put a lot of pressure on ETH to come back down as well. So the real test is going to happen when Bitcoin goes down. Will we be able to maintain this support here? And the reason I noted here is because look how strong this area of resistance was, and we finally broke it. We've got 6 minutes to go. When we close, or when we lose this here, can we hold this? Can we flip this resistance into support? If we can, there's a good chance that the rest of the market will as well, and we can start seeing some of that bullish action that we saw in the earlier part of this week. If not, then obviously we'll be coming back down, testing some lower support areas, and then we'll have to see where the market is there. But for right now, let's just take it one step at a time. Let's see where we close. Let's see how far we get up on Ethereum. And if we do come down, let's see if this new area here of resistance can now flip into support, and then we'll take it from there, one step at a time, guys. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. We'll be back on Zoom session tonight at 7 p.m. And in the meantime, I will be covering Bitcoin on Discord or in the market as well, and see how we fare out from there on the rest of the market, on some of the small trades that I took on BTC and USDT pairs on the same coin. I wanted to see how it ran on both of them, so I'm taking some really small positions, and because they're small positions, I'm comfortable putting in a stop loss and not worrying about getting wicked out. Generally, when I go into my normal positions, I don't like putting a stop loss because I will get wicked out, almost 99% certainty, because the market is not stupid. The exchanges are not stupid. They're going to see a fairly large order, and they're going to want, they know they have the control to go down there, wick me out, and then bring it back up and take my money. And that's what I try to avoid with large orders. With small little orders, I'm not worried about it. I kind of just blend in with the rest of the market, so it still at least puts me in the game a little bit, keeps me entertain. I don't have much going on. I'm going to go to the gym in a little while, get a nice 3 mile swim in today. I haven't done that in a few days, so I'm ready and I'm eager and I'm motivated to get that done today. And in the meantime, I've got some skin in the game, and I'm going to have some fun today and see how things turn out. Right now, I'm broken even on almost every single position except one of my positions is still too close to my entry, so I have not put a stop loss on it, but all my other three do have a stop losses on them. All right, gentlemen and ladies, have a wonderful day.